Between the NBA's bottom-tier teams and its top contenders, there's a struggle for playoff positioning. Teams are either aiming to secure play-in spots or trying to avoid slipping into them. This is especially evident in the competitive Western Conference, where 10 out of 15 teams are within 3 games of the 7 to 10 seeds. With under 10 games left, which team should be worried about making the play-in tournament? Which team should be feeling optimistic? And what team should focus on Cooper Flag? The Dallas Mavericks, Portland Trailblazers, and San Antonio Spurs could potentially reach the play-in tournament with a strong finish. However, this should probably not be their main objective. Key players like Victor Wembanyama, De'Aaron Fox, and Kyrie Irving have been sidelined with season-ending injuries, ending any realistic playoff hopes to advance. While the Blazers might want their young players to gain playoff experience, doing so would mean losing their 2025 lottery pick to the Chicago Bulls. Is a first-round sweep by the Thunder worth missing out on prospects like Cooper Flag or Ace Bailey? Dallas successfully entered the lottery 2 years ago, securing Derek Lively in the draft, setting the stage for a future finals run. Lively is a prime example of how impactful rookies can be for teams on the bubble of contending. I think the Mavs, Spurs, and Blazers are teams that should be focusing on positioning for the draft rather than pushing for wins. From the 7-seeded Golden State Warriors to the 4th-seeded Los Angeles Lakers, teams in the West are fighting for that 4th spot, which would secure them home court advantage in the first round. However, in the competitive conference, they're also just 3 games or less from slipping into the play-in tournament. While this potential drop might concern most teams, the Warriors and Lakers are not typical franchises. LeBron James led the Lakers to the Western Conference Finals as a number 7 seed 2 years ago, and Stephen Curry's Warriors overcame an 11-game deficit to the Phoenix Suns in the 2021-22 season to go on and win the NBA Finals. With 8 championships and 16 finals appearances between them, LeBron and Steph are less concerned about seeding. Both franchises have been improving since the deadline. The Lakers with Luka Doncic are 13-10 since his first game and have climbed as high as number 2 in the West. Meanwhile, Jimmy Butler has led the Warriors to a 16-4 record, revitalizing the team's core. Finishing number 4 in the West would be ideal, but even if they fall into the play-in tournament, facing a young Houston Rockets team as a number 7 seed probably won't intimidate James or Curry. The real concern with the play-in would be facing the hot Minnesota Timberwolves, who present a tough matchup for any play-in team or first-round opponent. The Memphis Grizzlies find themselves in a situation similar to the Golden State Warriors and Los Angeles Lakers, but they lack the postseason experience to inspire confidence if they fall into the play-in tournament. Not to mention, they just fired their head coach, leaving uncertainty moving forward. With only 1 first-round advancement in the Ja Morant, Jaren Jackson Jr. era, and the loss of key players like Dillon Brooks, Tyus Jones, and DeAnthony Melton, there's reason to be concerned about potentially facing the Oklahoma City Thunder as an 8 seed. Meanwhile, expectations for the Los Angeles Clippers remain tempered. Despite being a solid team, they probably lack the depth for a title run, especially with Kawhi Leonard's health always being uncertain. When healthy, however, they are a solid team. The Clippers have a significant home-away split remaining, and making a push for the number 4 seed would be interesting. Without their own first-round pick in 2025, they're motivated to finish high in the standings, adding pressure to their situation. In the East, most teams are either playoff-bound or in rebuilding mode, but the Miami Heat are at risk of falling out of the play-in tournament with a 2-9 record in their last 11 games and a 6-17 record since the trade deadline. They're in danger of missing the playoffs for the first time in 6 years. Although this would allow them to keep their 2025 first-round pick, it would leave their 2026 selection unprotected, which is owed to the Thunder, a common theme among picks these days. But no team should be more anxious in the coming weeks than the Phoenix Suns. The trade deadline was tumultuous, with an unsuccessful bid for Jimmy Butler and a very public attempt to shop Kevin Durant. Despite his desire to stay for this season, Durant is expected to be moved in the summer, creating a potentially tense locker room atmosphere as the team pushes for the postseason. Phoenix is just 10-12 since the deadline and faces the toughest remaining schedule in the NBA. The injury-plagued Dallas Mavericks, even without Kyrie Irving, could potentially push the Suns out of the play-in race. And the thing is, Phoenix has no backup plan. They have the most expensive roster in the league, paying $120 million more than the third-place Boston Celtics. Additionally, their 2025 draft pick is unprotected due to the Durant trade and could either go to the Houston Rockets or the Brooklyn Nets. The worst case scenario is missing the playoffs without a lottery pick. The best case scenario is a first-round clash with the Oklahoma City Thunder. To be frank, the Suns are in a bad spot, and the future doesn't look bright. Thanks for watching Sports Pantheon.